tell me, are you ready to fly? I hope you are. Because we've got less than a week now. And boy, have I got a special show for you tonight. Although it might not be to everybody's enjoyment, because if you don't want to know about the movie, you might want to just mute the sound for a while. Don't worry, I'll give you plenty of time and plenty of notice. La, 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 la. Yes, so yes. 19th of June 2022. I nearly said 21 then. Right, and we all know what that means. We know that in 5 days' time, we will get to see the much anticipated Elvis by Baz Luhrmann, starring, obviously, as we know by now, Austin Butler, Tom Hanks. Beautiful singing voice, Steve. I don't know about that, Slam. I really don't. Okay, now, basically, what it is tonight is the first part of the show will be an pre-recorded interview with a lady that was at the premiere of the Memphis, in Memphis, the premiere of the movie in Memphis. I completely lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. And Baz was there, and Austin, and all the cast were there. And then they got to see the movie. So if you do not want to know anything at all about this movie, then I will put up on the screen when there's anything that would really sort of spoil the movie for you. If you don't want to know, I'll put that up on the screen. Spoiler alert. And as soon as you see the spoiler alert go off the screen again, then you know it's safe to tune back in or put your sound back on. So yeah, and we've got more coming up as well. We've got obviously the quiz, August Fan of the Year prize as well, and I want to show you that now if I can. And it's basically that. For a chance to win this fantastic prize, you need to subscribe to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel on YouTube and take part in the Elvis quiz. And it's the blue or red Speedway jacket, as it's been known. And you can, if it's a lady, you can get it in a ladies. If it's a man, you can get it for a man. And even if a child wants one, they can get it in a child size as well. So it's in your interests, people, to subscribe to this channel, because only subscribers can answer at the moment, because what we've had to do is we've had to move the comments section to subscribers only, so unfortunately, but yeah, so subscribe and then you'll be able to take part in the quiz. And you don't need to be a winner of the month, Elvis Fan of the Month. You just need to get one question right and you to be the first person, and your name will go into the hat for August. What else? We'll have Elvis History, we'll have Elvis Photoshop, and I Wish Elvis Had Recorded. In other words, every week I pick a song that I hear now and again, and I think if only Elvis had recorded that. So that's the run up and the sort of the running order of this week's show. And I think the best thing to do is to kick off with me talking to this lady. Her name is Kathy. And don't worry, when anything that could be harmful to people's ears who don't want to know, you'll see spoiler alert on the screen and you'll be able to turn your sound off. So let's do this. Hi, Kathy, and welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel.
Thank you. Hi.
I am absolutely delighted to speak to you, and I'm just so looking forward to you telling me all about your visit to Graceland and seeing the movie, the big movie that we're all so excited to see, and we're all jealous because you've actually seen this movie. But first of all, just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you became an Elvis fan and so forth.
Well, I am I'm 47 years old, so I was not old enough to see Elvis.
You're just a baby.
Or know anything about him. Yeah. When I was about 4 years old, one Saturday morning, so here, I don't know how it was there, but here in the US in the 80s, they would play Elvis movies quite frequently on Saturday mornings. At
Yeah,
least that's what I remember.
yeah.
And so when I was about 4, it had been only 2 years, I guess, since he passed away. Um, I was watching TV and I just saw him on television, and that was it. Like, that's all I needed. I don't remember what movie it was, but I remember my dad walked into the room and he made some joke, the Elvis the Pelvis or something like that. And I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, I like Elvis the Pelvis.
Don't we all?
Yeah. So then that just became a lifelong obsession. And when we moved to Birmingham here, that was in Pennsylvania, where I grew up. But when I was older and got married, my husband got a job in Birmingham, Alabama. So we moved down here. And it was so great that we are close enough now to go to Memphis almost anytime we want. And we can
Yeah.
even go to Tupelo and just spend the day if we are in the mood. So
Oh, I wish I was
that
that
kind
close.
of,
I really wish I was that
yeah,
close.
I know, we're so fortunate. And to think I didn't want to move to the South when we lived in Pennsylvania, I thought, no, but I'm really glad. And so that being so close in proximity made it really easy to just travel out there pretty much whenever I want. And that kind of fed my obsession. And now I'm just full blown like Elvis freak, which
Now,
is so much
obviously,
fun.
we're doing the math. You were too young, unfortunately, to ever see Elvis, but he did
Hmm.
appear. He did appear near to where you were. Yeah,
Yeah. So New Year's Eve, that Pittsburgh New Year's Eve show that he
yeah.
did, I lived about 4 miles away. And so at the time of that show, I was in my bed sleeping. I was 2.
If only you knew what was ahead, though.
If only I knew, yeah. And then I think a couple days later he played here in Birmingham, or a
Yeah,
couple days prior to that he played
prior to
here.
it, yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like on the 29th or something, I think he played in Birmingham. So that's really cool. I feel like, any little connection is a good one
yeah, yeah.
for me.
Now, I'm very excited to start on this topic. You went to Graceland,
Yes.
the guest house at Graceland, I believe, to watch
Yeah.
the premiere of this Baz Luhrmann movie that we're also excited to see. Tell me a little bit about that. How did you just got tickets and went, and who was there? And just tell me all about before the movie went on.
Okay. So originally my plan for the weekend was we went to the Tupelo Elvis Festival Wednesday night, and we were going to come home back to Birmingham on Sunday. But then I noticed there were tickets available to see the movie at Graceland on Sunday night. So we extended the trip, ordered the tickets, and made our plans to go. At the time, we were not expecting it, but we thought it was just a movie screening. We didn't realize it was going to be a big ordeal.
Okay.
But as we got closer, we realized something big was happening. The newspaper was reporting that the cast in the WB production company were going to be in town for the weekend, and there just started to be a lot of buzz. So we got really excited. And when we got there, it turned out that the cast and Baz were there to greet us in the theater before the movie started. It was really cool.
Wow. Did you get to meet any of them?
No, they
Right,
came out
right.
onto the stage and then
Yes.
they spoke and then they left. So we
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, I've seen video of them addressing the audience and everything like that. Lisa Marie was there as well. She looked very, very good, and she spoke very well, I thought.
Yes. So it was actually, the premiere was Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think, for the TCB band and their families who could make it. And then the ultimate Elvis tribute artists, I know that some of them were there as well. And different VIPs were there Saturday night. I think Lisa Marie spoke more Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
When we saw her on Sunday, she mentioned that she had been depressed, and today she was having a down day, but that we were, all of our love that we were trying to show her was helping her. So,
well, I'm pretty sure that all our hearts go out to Lisa Marie. She's had an awful few years.
yeah.
I mean, no parent should lose a child, and especially in that way as well. That sort of terrible way. So yeah, I mean, it's completely understandable that she wouldn't be on top of the world. But I think this movie has given her a little bit of a lift, from what I understand.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is the first time we've seen her in public, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
In years.
Yeah.
Well, since she lost her son. and I don't know, I guess I can probably speak for a lot of fans that were worried. I was worried about her.
Yes.
Looking at her social media,
Yeah.
so even searching the news articles to see if I could find any mention of her being out somewhere, just to get photographic evidence that maybe she's doing okay.
Mm.
And there hasn't been anything. So it was really good to see her in person.
There were a few pictures in the press, weren't there, of her, just walking along the sidewalk or coming out of a building, going into her car and so forth. But that was just, I felt for her, because I thought, why can't the media just leave her alone? She's just lost her son and they have to be taking photographs of her. But of course, that's the media.
That's true.
That's the media.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the movie itself, I've got a few questions here, and this is the time now when we have to announce that if there's anybody that doesn't want to be, the movie to be spoilt for them, then spoiler alerts are up now on the screen, and you can maybe mute and not listen for a while. You can just maybe watch the screen until I take the spoiler alert off the screen again. So here we go. How does the movie begin? Where does it begin exactly?
Wow, it was a big surprise. So what it begins is with Colonel Parker in the hospital bed,
Oh, right.
presumably on his deathbed.
Okay.
And the first words you hear, from what I can remember, now I was very overwhelmed. I could be getting some
Yes,
facts
I think you need to.
because of
I
my
think you're going to have to watch it 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot because we had already been emotional from here I am in the room with Tom Hanks, and now he's sitting behind me watching the movie. So emotions were high, and I think sometimes memory can be a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll do my best.
Well, it's a
So the movie,
it's a 2.5 hour movie. You're not going to remember every single thing, but
No.
what you can remember would be great.
Yeah. So it starts off with him speaking, basically defending himself, saying many people think that I'm the villain in this story,
Yes.
and I'm not.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting the way the whole thing started. It shows his career a little bit before he meets Elvis.
Oh, right.
Not much, just a few minutes of he's with, who did he manage before? Hank Snow Jr.?
Yeah, and Gene Austen, I think, wasn't it? Was it Gene Austen? I
Yeah.
think it was, wasn't it?
I don't think he was mentioned, but I know Hank Snow, and so they're showing him with them prior, where he first hears That's All Right. Somebody brings a Sun record and they put it on a record player, and he's like, "What is this?" And then they begin talking, and then he's intrigued, and then the next a few scenes later, he meets Elvis, and then the story just goes from there.
So where does the tent and the the young Elvis come in that we've seen on the trailers with the lightning bolt round his neck? When is that shown?
That is kind of a flashback,
Right.
where Colonel Parker is showing what, oh gosh.
No worries, no worries.
So he's trying to explain to us, the viewer, this is where Elvis came from and why it's kind of ties in with the superhero comic book kind of interest, and also his musical influence. And so they're very quick scenes.
Right.
Baz Luhrmann films are very fast.
Yes,
and
I mean,
very theatrical.
if the trailer's anything to go by, then it's sort of machine gun at you almost, isn't it?
It really is, and that makes it a little difficult to recall this, in the order in which things happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that lightning bolt around the neck is a flashback where
Right.
Colonel Parker is explaining where Elvis has come from and how he ended up where he is.
Right. Okay. And then does it include Son and Sam Phillips and Marion Keisker and all that?
Yes, it does. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Okay. You see, they had to squeeze 42 years into 2.5 hours. That's the thing. They probably spent a lot of time on the big year, the 1956, when it all took off, I suppose.
They did. Yeah, they really did. A big focus was on how he kind of recruited Elvis to work with him. And then there was more focus after that on
I mean, they show Milton Berle because that's in one of the trailers. So they show Hound Dog from Milton Berle.
They do, and there's a lot. There's quite a few scenes regarding him being a rebel and politicians and religious leaders not approving of him, and that kind of leads up to him going to the Army. And the movie kind of alludes to the fact that Colonel has to do something to stop all the bad press. He's got to get
Right.
this boy under control, basically.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes it, and I don't know, I don't think this is true, but I could be wrong, that Colonel Parker was the one who actually got him recruited to the Army. Like, this is how we're going to fix his image.
Yeah.
We're sending him to the Army. Now, I always understood he was drafted. I mean, does that make sense? Like, do you think that Colonel Parker had a
I've had my suspicions over the years that yes, he kind of almost said to the army brass, let's draft Elvis because this is getting out of hand, and let's sort of try and make him out to be a fine, decent boy, which is what he was anyway. Okay, he was a rebel, but he was always a fine, decent boy. I think even Ed Sullivan said that. So
yeah.
So they show. Do they show Ed Sullivan shows and things like that, or is it just the Hound Dog and Milton Berle?
Just Milton Berle. It was a lot of it was just they had to leave out so much.
Well,
so I think they made their points about what needed to be illustrated, and then they handpicked the parts of his life that told the story.
There'll be a director's cut, I'm sure, in the future anyway.
I hope so. Well, Baz, after the movie, he came out and we were able to ask questions. I didn't ask a question, but several other people did.
Mm-hmm.
And he did say that he hopes to have a longer cut. I think it would need to be like 4 hours long.
Yeah, at least 8.
Yeah.
They obviously covered his mother's death because we've seen the photographs of Vernon and Elvis sitting on the steps, or the recreation of it. Did they dwell on that, or was it sort of done just sort of quickly? She's dead and that's it.
No, there was a scene in which Elvis, do you really want the spoilers?
Oh yeah. Spoiler alert, people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Elvis is in his mother's closet, just sobbing and beside himself, just, heartbroken.
Oh no.
And basically Colonel Parker walks in and he says, come on, you got to pull yourself together. And he says, the press is outside. They want to take a picture of you with your father. And Elvis is saying he doesn't want to do that. He wants private time. And Colonel Parker is pushing him to go outside to have that iconic photograph taken where he's sitting on the steps. And he also is very emotional. He's hugging Colonel Parker, and Colonel Parker is saying, now that your mother's gone, I'm going to do everything for you that she would have done.
Right.
And he's basically taking her place.
This is going to break my heart, that scene. I just know it is, with Elvis sobbing like that and being told he's got to go out and have his photograph taken.
Yeah, it was awful.
Does it, by the way?
Not awful. It was sad. It was just sad.
Yeah. Does it feature Gladys's distrust of Parker? Do they cover that?
Yes.
Ah, right. I wondered whether they would.
Yeah, there's a few bits where she's basically yelling about, we don't know this guy, and how do we trust him, and how am I going to let you go off with this stranger? Is kind of, but also with her, they also show her drinking quite a bit.
Oh, right.
In the movie. And I always thought there was some controversy there because, you talk to people, I don't talk to people, but I have heard interviews with people who knew her that said they never known her to be drinking.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Barbara Hearn. Barbara Hearn that went out with him in 1956. She was actually at the Rustwood Park show that day, July 4th. And she said that she never got found any evidence of Gladys drinking. Unless, of course, it was sort of 57, 58, because I don't know. It's strange. Yeah, I thought that was an odd thing for Barbara to say, and I'm not saying for a minute that Barbara made that up. In fact, I'm saying that Barbara is truthful. It's a strange one. It's a strange one, that.
Yeah, so you have people who say both, and that's who I was referring to just now. Your interview with Barbara, I really enjoyed that. By the way, I thought that was great, and I'll remember her saying that. And I feel like I may have heard that from other people as well.
I mean, there was talk of...
I don't know.
Yeah, there was talk of diet pills as well that Gladys was taking, wasn't there? Because she wanted to look her best.
Everybody took diet pills in those days.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't know. They didn't know the hazards then.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. What about the movie years? How much emphasis did they put on the movies and how bored and Elvis got with them?
Oh, that was very quick.
Oh, surprise.
Very, very fast. Now, they did a little montage where they played they showed him acting, and then they showed like scenes in the movies, but it was just super quick. And Margaret's not mentioned at all.
Wow.
Which I thought was, they could at least have had a redhead in one of the scenes. Like, just maybe it was so fast I missed it. I don't know, but I don't remember there was no speaking or no character who played Anne Margaret. It was really quick. It was just a montage. And then at the end of the montage, he is feeling like his career, he's frustrated.
Yeah.
I think there were, there's in one of the trailers or when one of the preview clips, it shows him talking about how he's frustrated with this situation. And then from there, it goes to the 68 comeback special.
Yeah. Now, there's been quite a lot of emphasis put on that in the trailers and everything. And from what I've seen so far, Austin has nailed it. He really has, doing the 68 comeback special. Would you agree?
Totally agree. It was amazing. It was like someone took Elvis's or Austin's face and put it on Elvis.
Wow.
That, and I know they didn't.
Yeah.
But that's how accurate that leather scene, with the stand-up leather portion, it was so accurate. The lighting, the camera angle, the audience, their clothing, and his movement. It was, I mean, it was amazing. And I believe during that part, that was Elvis singing. So the only part that's seems out of place is Austin's face, because he doesn't look exactly like Elvis.
No, well, nobody does, thankfully. Elvis is unique. Yeah, I mean, that's what struck me from some of the stills I've seen, is the attention to detail, and even the audience members around the stage wearing the same clothes, same hairstyles, everything. It's I mean, they must have put months and months and months into studying those to do that.
They did. Well, let me tell you something else about the 68 comeback special. Please, because we know how it was supposed to be a Christmas show, right? And obviously the way it actually played out is not anything like in the movie, but in the movie it almost appears that Colonel Parker has no idea it's not a Christmas show until they're already filming. Like, he's got a Christmas sweater in Elvis's dressing room. There's a set of Christmas background and Christmas dancers and Christmas scenery. And he's literally, in the movie, he's expecting Elvis to go to that set and start and do the act. And obviously that's not how it works out, because nobody's going to build a whole set thinking, knowing it's not going to come true. But basically, through the whole filming of the 68 comeback special, Colonel's like, okay, and now we're going to do Here Comes Santa Claus, and now we're going to do this Christmas song and that Christmas song. And Elvis and Steve are basically just defying him and ignoring all the Christmas, and Colonel Parker storming around, and he's yelling, and he's being yelled at by the executives that he's going to be sued because it was supposed to be a Christmas show. So it's very dramatic, dramatic. While you see Elvis doing the performances that we know of that made it into the comeback special, there's flashing around to different sets that they had built that were supposed to be part of it. And Colonel's just like losing his mind. Yeah,
that's good. That's good, because we know how much of a turning point the 68 special was. So I'm glad they've given a lot of emphasis to that subject about Parker thinking it was a Christmas TV special.
I mean, it's like he thought it was a Christmas thing up until it was already finished filming. Like, it was amazing.
Okay. And then do they jump to That's the Way It Is, or do they go into the American Sound Studios sessions and the resurgence and the whole success of a chart success with Chip's moment, or did they just gloss over that?
They don't even mention that.
They don't even mention American Sound. Right?
After that, it's the internet. It's the going to Vegas.
Oh yeah, 69. Yeah.
So the rest of the movie focus is on him. Basically, there's nothing about touring that I could see.
So there's no Madison.
There's a flash.
There's no Madison Square Garden or anything like that, or Elvis on tour, right?
No Elvis on tour. But I swear I saw footage from Elvis on tour.
Yes.
In one of the montages.
Yeah.
So they go to Vegas, and basically the rest of the movie is, the premise is Elvis is trapped in Vegas because Colonel Parker has debts to pay.
Mm-hmm.
To the casinos. And so he's making a deal for $5 million to have Elvis out there working. And in exchange, he's getting like his debts are cleared and he has unlimited credit and all these perks for him. And so the rest of the movie is really just showing us that Elvis is being taken advantage of by Colonel Parker and basically trapped in a cage in Vegas. And it's sad. There's a lot of really sad parts. They do at some point go to Aloha, but it's again super fast.
I was just about to say that a lot of people are interested. So super fast, as in what, 30 seconds or?
Yeah, like 30 seconds. It's Colonel Parker talking about inventing the satellite show. I invented satellite or something. I can't remember the exact words. And then they show the back of Elvis, and I believe it was truly Elvis, shot from Aloha.
Right.
And then there's some special effects related to Aloha. And then it moves on to, after that, it's Priscilla leaving him.
Right.
And so they're talking in Graceland. I don't know if you saw this scene where he's sitting at the bottom of the steps and she's walking out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I know there's an actor that plays Dr. Nick. So they obviously address the medication issue.
Yes. Dr. Nick doesn't speak a whole lot. You see him preparing syringes, and you see him in some of the scenes, and he's mentioned, but I don't recall that character speaks at all.
Right. Okay. But they do address the fact that Elvis was on prescription medication quite heavily after sort of 72, 73.
Yes, they're showing him taking pills. They're showing Dr. Nick injecting him with things. The ice bucket.
Oh, yes, the scene where he says nothing else matters, but that man is on stage tonight.
Yeah. Now that doesn't happen the way we've heard it. What we've heard is that it's in a hotel room and he's on a bed, right?
That's what Larry Geller told me. Yes.
Well, he's walking down a hallway of sorts, or maybe in the hotel on his way to a stage, and he passes out on the floor, and everyone rushes, and they start putting his head in the ice water, and Colonel Parker standing over. So there's like a whole crowd of people. It's not exactly like what we've heard, and that's very emotional. It's very, very difficult to watch.
Yeah. I'd imagine so. This is where it starts getting difficult. I know they don't show all the Memphis Mafia members. They probably only Jerry Schilling and probably Charlie Hodge. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, there is a flash. They do there's a scene where they're all on a tour bus, and there's flashes of names with like arrows that point to each person. So George is shown for like a second. Joe is also shown for a very split second, but they don't even get credit in the movie. Like there's no speaking parts. They're just shown for like quick.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think there's a scene in one of the trailers I saw where it's they're on the go-karts outside Graceland, and you can see Billy on one of or what's supposed to be Billy Smith on one of the go-karts, and there's Lamar, I think, is filming it on a cine camera. I think you just have to put two and two together and sort of identify them for yourself, nearly.
Yeah, I think some of them they don't even name. You're right. I don't know that Billy Smith was named, but we all know who it is because you can just tell.
Yeah.
And same with Lamar. You looking at these people in photographs for all these years, you can kind of piece together who's
exactly.
who.
Exactly. Yeah. Elvis's girlfriends. Do any of those get a mention? Does Ginger get a mention?
No.
No Ginger
Linda
at all.
Doesn't even get no Ginger, no Linda.
Right.
Barbara is in it for like a second.
Dixie Locke probably as well.
Oh no, Dixie, that's right.
Dixie, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, and then of course it probably moves along then to the CBS television special, the Elvis in Concert.
It does. It fast forwards. So I don't remember exactly what point the movie kind of stops telling the story, but then it flashes forward and you see Austin puffier. The recreation of that scene is amazing, and then they show us Elvis.
Oh, we do actually see the real Elvis at the end.
Yes.
Okay. What do they show? They sort of blend it into the CBS footage?
No, they show Austin, and then it switches to the CBS of Elvis singing Unchained Melody. And then, of course, everybody is...
Yeah.
emotional at that
I
point as well.
I can feel a little lump in my throat now, actually, and just thinking about
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Is that where it ends? It just fade after Elvis stops singing?
yeah, and then they show some words on the screen, but I was crying too hard to look.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
barely remember what that was. And then the credits roll and then they're playing the some of the soundtrack.
yeah. Oh, that's a question I wanted to ask you. How much non-Elvis stuff is there during the actual movie itself?
It's real quick, actually. So the Doja Cat one, Hound
Mm.
Dog,
Hmm.
not no, it's called Vegas, but I hear Hound Dog a lot in that song.
Yeah.
That's in the movie. The other songs are in there briefly from the soundtrack, but they don't play a whole song.
Mm.
They're just to highlight, it's just background music for the scene.
Yes. Yeah. I know there was a lot of people worried that it would just be all other artists and hardly any Elvis at all. And I think, well, I don't think it's that. No, I don't think they get away with that for a start.
No, 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 no. I really like the way they did it. It's just enough modern music to entice younger generations. Like my 17-year-old son heard that Doja Cat song, and that's what made him decide he wants to see the movie with me.
Great.
So, I feel like they added just enough to make it relevant to today's audience,
Yeah.
but they kept so much.
So do you think this
Of
will?
what-
Do you think this will entice younger audiences?
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Definitely.
That's what we
Yeah, a
need.
lot of people that aren't even fans, even older people went to see it that
Yeah.
I've talked to.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what we need. We need to bring through a newer generation of Elvis fans, because the likes of me and you aren't going to be around forever, unfortunately. I'd like to think I was going to be, but no, unfortunately not.
No.
Well, Kathy, I really appreciate you coming on and telling us all about this. It's most kind, giving up your time to tell us about this, because I know there's a lot of people who wanted to know a little bit more before they go and see it. I know there's some people that don't want to know anything about it, but I was curious to find out exactly how it was mapped out. And thanks very much. It was great.
You're welcome.
And to answer me this, how many more times are you going to go and see it?
Well, I'm seeing it Thursday night and then Friday and Saturday for sure, but
Yeah.
I don't know after that.
It's
A lot. It's one thing. There's so many details that are accurate. I know that the timeline is not accurate in a lot of things, and there's a lot of details missing, but there's so much in it that is accurate that I really want to watch it a lot. I'm going to need to watch it many times in order to see all the details.
Just from listening to what you're saying, it strikes me as one of those movies that you're going to notice different things every time you watch it, and more things,
Yes.
which is always nice in a movie. If you watch a movie once and then that's it, you don't need to watch it again. But something like that, where you can watch it again, think, oh, I missed that the first time, and I've only just noticed that. That makes a good movie, I think.
I agree. And I think even after it comes out on streaming, it'll be really fun to watch it and get to pause it and then look up photos of actual things that happen and kind of compare this. That's what I'm going to do anyway.
Yeah.
To compare the scenes with what's in the movie versus what's in real life, because a lot of them are really spot on.
I know we're kind of biased, but do you think there's Oscar material in there?
Yes.
Right. That's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing I want to say about the movie is that, you and I'm assuming you've been a lifelong Elvis fan.
Oh, yeah.
And you know so much. Yeah. So, one of my big fears was these people are new to the Elvis world. I don't know that Baz or Austin or any of these people have been obsessive the way some of us have since childhood. So we've spent years immersing ourselves in books and documentaries and listening to interviews. I was concerned, how are they going to learn all of this in just 5 years and have it? But it comes through that they get it. Like they really get it. They get us and they get the Elvis world. Even though a lot's not in the movie, they understand Elvis and they understand what we're looking for. And I feel like they really do a good job of honoring the fans and being really respectful with how they made the movie.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think we'll leave it there because, as I say, I appreciate you giving up your time to come on and tell us all about the movie. And so thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you.
And there you have it, people. I hope you enjoyed that. If you were curious as to how the movie is mapped out and what's included and what's not included. Bill Mega is saying, is it safe to come out now? Yes, you can all come out. No problem. I've removed the spoiler alert. Charlie Hansen says we're good now. Yes. I will explain a little bit later why people are saying, why have I done it this week and not next week after the movie comes out? Well, Elvis Last says, love that so much, Steve. That was awesome. Thank you very, very much. For people saying I shouldn't have done it, well, I did actually think long and hard about should I include that interview tonight, and it turned out so well that I thought, yes, well, why not? And as I said, I actually said in my posts in the days running up to today that I would give people plenty of opportunity to say that there were spoilers in tonight's video, and I would also give you plenty of notice before the spoilers come out and you could mute. So there you are. And I, for one, enjoyed it immensely talking to Kathy. And if you're watching Kathy on playback, because I know you're busy today, thank you very, very much for coming on and giving us all that little bit of a preview and what's included in the movie and what's not included in the movie. And, I don't think for a minute, if you did hear some of the spoilers, it will spoil it for you, simply because it's not like we don't know the plot to this movie anyway. It's just we were wondering what's included and what's not included and things like that. So as far as I'm concerned, justified. Right now we're going to do the quiz. We'll do a poll, a live interactive poll. It's about Elvis movies this week, so I'll do that after the quiz. We'll do Elvis history, and we'll do Elvis Photoshop. I wish Elvis had recorded. And I will also open the phone lines as well after the quiz, in case you want to speak to me about the movie or what Kathy said or about what you're going to be doing this weekend. If you're going to be doing anything special on the 24th, what's happening on the 24th? You know what I mean? So, please do call in. I will open the lines up. But if Earl is ready and Maxine is ready, we can do the quiz. And don't forget, whoever gets the... Priscilla says, oh my God, you're brave, Steve. Well, not really, because like I did say, Priscilla, I did warn everybody well beforehand that there was going to be spoilers tonight. And all they had to do was either turn away or click mute until it was safe. No bravery really needed, just a little bit of common sense, I suppose. Right, so let's do the quiz. And of course, this is the ultimate prize that we're playing for. I want to get that out. Where are we? This is the ultimate prize. Hi, Earl. Thanks. Stand by, please, for the quiz. You subscribe to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. You take part in the quiz between now and whatever the nearest Sunday is to the 16th of August. And if you are the first person to get a question right during the intervening period, in fact, not just the intervening period, but for the whole 12 months, your name will go in the hat to win that. You can pick red or blue, and you can be a man, a lady, or a child, and they're all available to order, so I can supply you whether you're a male, female, or a child. I don't know whether there's many children watch this channel, but who knows? The winner might want to give their child the jacket. Right, so here we go. Earl. I think Maxine. I did see Maxine on here, so Max, you can probably help out as well. Now, this is general knowledge. It's not the name that tune or anything like that. So, eyes down. I better get my pen ready. Kentucky Rain was co-written by Dick Hurd and who was the other writer for Kentucky Rain? Let's have a look. Jill says she went ages ago. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Right, Ludane, Eddie Rabbit. You're going to get this.
Yeah, baby.
Well done. It was Eddie Rabbit. Ludane. Hello, dear. Good to see you here. Look at all these Eddie Rabbits. Eddie Rabbits, Eddie Rabbits, Eddie Rabbits. I was really curious about how it started, so that helps me a lot. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you very much. As I say, I know people were saying, why are you doing this, Steve, and all this and all that, but all you had to do was mute or just turn away for this week and then come back next week or the week after or the week after. It was only the click of a mouse. Right. Question number 2. Original release. The original release of Kentucky Rain. What was the B-side of Kentucky Rain? Give me the B-side of Kentucky Rain, please. Yeah, Bill Mega, I Love a Rainy Night. That was a great Eddie Rabbit song, wasn't it? Thanks, Wet Blanket. I think you needed to tease, Steve. Nula. Danny B. Side says, My Little Friend. What's correct? You get that, Danny B.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. My Little Friend says Paul. Dawn. Yeah. Mike. Salam says Long Black Limousine. No, it wasn't, believe it or not. David. Hi, David. Mark. Yeah. Ruth. Hi, Ruth. How you doing? Dude Like Rain. I like it, Owen. Anway says, I'll have to leave way behind. Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe Anway, if you refresh your stream or your chat. Samantha says, I'm lagging here too. Yeah, I do think some people do have latency issues. I've upped the latency. Fitting that Danny B-side should get that one. I agree, Don, yeah. I have actually, hi Nancy, I have actually upped the latency on the stream when we got the fibre in, so there's no lag this end. I think it might be some people's internet just isn't up to speed, unfortunately. But don't forget, you do have to have live chat selected, not top chat. Don't go, Anway, come back. Right, question 3. Where were the Presleys living when Elvis first went to Sun Studio? Where were they living when he first went to Sun Studio? No, it wasn't Lauderdale. It wasn't Memphis. Lauderdale Court, Tupelo. Alabama. Who put Alabama? Ludane. Well done, Ludane.
Yeah, baby.
And to be precise, they were 462 Alabama Street. There you go. Ludane. Well done, Ludane. I thought that was quite a tricky one. I normally like to... Oh, Paul says get well. Ruth says Alabama Street. I always like to drop a bit of a cheeky one in there. Make you work for your...
Yeah, baby.
JC22 says Alabama Street. Don't forget, you can actually... I will open the phone lines after the quiz and you can ring in and tell me about the movie and when you're going, who you're going with. You can tell me off as well if you think I shouldn't have done these spoilers this week. You can wag a finger at me. Yeah, Priscilla says, well done, Ludane. Right. Okay. What was the B-side of the original single release of Heartbreak Hotel? So the very, very first time Heartbreak Hotel was released, what was on the B-side? Let's see who gets this first. Guess who? Danny B-side.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Look at all those I Was the One. Scott Carpenter. Well done, Scott. Salam. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying I Was the One. Yeah. Gracie G says, I was going to go anyway, but I wanted to have a heads up so I can watch carefully. That's a good point, Gracie. Very good point. As I say, I really don't believe that me broadcasting that interview has spoilt the movie in any way. You know, it's not that, you know, it's not that kind of movie. We kind of knew the story anyway. Okay. Right, that seems to be kind of... Hi, Dolores. That seems to be washed through now. So we'll go for the next question, which is, what month and year did Elvis buy the home at 1034 Audubon Drive. I want the month and the year that Elvis bought Audubon Drive for Gladys and Vernon. I know a lot of people will know this. This is quite a simple one, actually. No, not 1955, 10:15. April 1956. No, March 1956. Well done, Ruth.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Ruth Daniel. Well done. Okay. He used the royalties from his first big hit, Heartbreak Hotel, March 1956. Charlie Hansen says, dang it. David Lund says, June 18th, 1815. Yeah, that was a long time ago, David. Scott says, I thought I knew Elvis stuff until I came here. I'm humbled often. Well, now, Scott, no, don't be like that. We all have to learn somewhere, you know. And we can't know it all either. I'm far from knowing it all. Well, Salam says, I have no idea. Well, at least you're honest. By the way, I saw Banjo Paul on here earlier on. Banjo, if you're watching on playback, I put a shout out to you last week as well, I think. You were the winner of last month's Fan of the Month quiz, because even though Jack won it, he actually donated it to the runner-up, and you were the runner-up. So send me your details and I can get that prize to you. I know you were on earlier on, and if you do watch on playback, then please get in touch with me. I don't know when, but I am still mad the person who bought it ruined the big pool. Yeah, I know. It's really dying. It's dying out, crying out for it to be completely overhauled and the pool put in and everything put back to the way it was when Elvis was there, and then it opened up again. And same with Dolan, the house on Dolan. I really, really think they should do the Dolan Drive house up. It's very, very badly run down, especially out back, and take it from there. I don't know why Graceland don't buy it, but I did hear that Jack Soden said that every time they try and buy it, the price is just silly money. Really, really silly price to pay. So obviously they're trying to take advantage of Graceland. Right, so the sixth and final question. It's about the movie, but don't worry, it's not a spoiler. Who plays Jerry Schilling in the upcoming Baz Luhrmann movie? What's the name of the actor that plays Jerry Schilling in Baz Luhrmann's Elvis? Don, I've been a fan for 60 years and I'm still learning. Yes, of course. Well done. Kaya Des, is it? C-A-I Des. It is Luke Bracey.
Yeah, baby.
Duncan says Luke Braces. Danielle says Luke something. Jerry Schilling himself? No, unfortunately not. Yes, it is Luke Bracey. That's his name. B-R-A-C-E-Y. Yes, Leslie, I think he is Australian. Yeah. Okay. It says Steve is lagging as well. Well, I have actually full speed here, actually, Angel. So, yeah. Loose braces there. I'm sure Elvis Forever says Luke Bracey. Yes, Jack, loose braces. I'm sure that's his nickname. Howdy, Dave. How are you doing, Dave? Right, so that is the Fan of the Month quiz done. I'm going to open the phone lines in a second, but first of all, what I want to do is every week we do a live interactive quiz where I ask a question, and I like people to vote on this, and I like as many people as possible to vote on this, because it's one of those things where I'm curious to know, fans' opinions on these things, today, the question is, what's your favorite 1960s dramatic Elvis movie? Is it Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, or Charo? That's what I want to know. Now, if you are watching this on playback, you won't actually see it and you won't be able to vote on it, but you will hear me near the end of the show give out the results. So stick around and you'll hear what people vote on. What's your favourite 60s dramatic Elvis movie? Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, or Charo? And if it does collapse on you, I know it's at the top of the comments box. If it does collapse on you, just click on it and it'll open up, and then click on your vote. It's completely anonymous. I don't know who votes for what. It just tells me the percentage of votes for each selection. Now, let's open up the phone lines, and you can. Well, I'm trying to. Yes, there it is. If you want to ring me about anything I've covered so far. Hello.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Well, Priscilla, how are you keeping?
I'm great. Thanks, Steve. I'm much better than I was the last time we spoke.
Yes. Now, are you ringing up to tell me off for doing these spoilers?
No, I am not. I'm ringing you up to tell you misinterpreted my statement.
Did I? Okay.
The reason I think you're brave is that you're actually opening the phone lines, because I think we could be here till midnight.
Oh. Okay. All right.
The excitement is palpable.
Yes,
Steve.
it is. I know. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Like, and I've always said I was, not over the moon initially, and I was a little nervous. I suppose the reality is what I'd like is a chance to go back in time and be there for the real thing.
Yes.
And there's no movie going to give me that. But I think this is going to come close.
Yeah, I mean, every week that's gone past now over the past month or so, it's just been building and building and building, and every time a trailer came out, it got better and better and better. And then there was people coming out who'd actually seen the movie, and they were saying, "You're in for such a treat,"
Oh, and really, what I will tell you, Steve, is that of all the things that has been said and done down through the years, and there's. We can sit here now with the benefit of hindsight and look back and say, oh, well, that was good or that wasn't good or this was... It's all personal taste. But the reality is, it has started a conversation about a man we all love.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that can only be positive. Never mind the endorsement of the family of Lisa Marie and her words at that premiere on the Saturday night at the guest house. Absolutely phenomenal. I saw a snippet of an interview with her and Austin where she said that it was the first time in her life she felt it's something honoured her father the way he should be.
Yeah, that's right.
If we're fans, then we should love it.
Austin seems such a sweet guy as well, doesn't he?
To me, he seems like the Elvis that I've watched.
Yeah.
That humble, unassuming, nearly, you get the notion of the shyness on him. I don't know, did you see that snippet, the Jimmy Fallon show?
Yes.
Where he spoke in the 3 voices that he uses in the movie.
Yes.
Like that in the 50s, Elvis was young and excitable and spoke a lot faster. And then oh my God, like when he opened his mouth, it sounded like every recording ahead of him. So clearly he has put a tremendous amount of effort into it.
Yeah, well, two and a half years, I think, isn't it?
Well, you know what? He did an awful lot if it was 2.5 years, because it looks to me like it would take a lifetime of work to produce what he has.
Yeah.
Look, I think, I'm booked to go Friday, Monday, Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, 3. Great.
4.
Oh, 4, but I beg your pardon, I miscounted. And like Kathy said, it's one of those movies where you're going to have to watch it more than once.
Well, I think any Baz Luhrmann movie requires more than one watching, because he throws so much at you.
Yeah, so quickly.
In a very short period of time that it's a visual feast.
Yeah.
Now, please tell me what part of Elvis and his career and his music it has not or was not a visual feast.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you see a lot of comments, oh, he doesn't look like Elvis, or he doesn't. Yeah, nobody looks like Elvis. No, nobody had a snowball's chance in hell.
That's missing the point. If you think he's going to have to look like Elvis and he's going to have to sound like Elvis to make a successful movie, no, that's you're missing the point.
No, what he has done and what nobody has done before him is captured the essence of the man. And I think for that, and remember, this is told from the Colonel's perspective. I hate calling him the Colonel because he wasn't one.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's told from his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, I don't think there's anything that could ever happen in my day that would make me go, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see.
The reality is what I want is the real thing. I can't have that, and this is going to come a very close second.
Yeah. Well, look forward to the movie and enjoy it, or enjoy those 4 screenings. I'm sure you will. And I will be obviously
I'll probably get a couple more.
after a few weeks of the movie and everybody's been able to digest it and gone and seen it multiple times. I'll do a phone in where people can ring in and tell me exactly what they think about the movie.
I have 2 buddies, Steve, who want to come and see the film. They're not Elvis fans.
Yeah.
They just want to come and see the film to see how I'll react to it.
Well, that's a plus to start with. I've heard that there's non-Elvis fans can't wait to see this movie as well. So that's a plus. That's a plus.
Yeah, and I think we were, I was wondering earlier on if they were publicising enough or pushing it enough, or it seems to be everywhere all at once. And I think they did the right thing because, there's another movie that could hit a category that a lot of us would be in.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't competed with that.
Yeah.
They've done exactly the right thing. I mean, Baz is a very intelligent man, I'm assuming.
He is, yeah.
As are you, Steve. So I'm sorry if my comment seems to, I think that interview with Cathy was spectacular. I think it can't be a spoiler. Yeah. And you know why? We know how it ends.
Exactly. We know how it starts. We know how it ends. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. And anybody hearing that interview now, it won't have spoiled the movie. You will still enjoy the movie as much as you would have if you hadn't heard Cathy. I
just think that all this conversation has to be, tremendous.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thanks.
Come here,
Thanks, Priscilla.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Steve. Bye.
That was Priscilla. Thank you very much, Priscilla, for calling in. Anybody else would like to call in? And yes, here we are. Straight away. Hello.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Hey, Salam. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Super excited. I'm going to see the movie on Tuesday.
Hey.
Counting the minutes.
Now, did you listen to the interview, or are you a person that muted?
I muted the first half and then I said, oh, what am I doing? And then I unmuted the second half.
You just couldn't contain yourself.
I couldn't wait. But I didn't catch. I wanted to ask you, I don't know if she mentioned in the first half. She mentioned it in the second half where they show the real Elvis singing some songs towards the end. Did she mention any footage of the young Elvis being shown?
No, she didn't, and I don't think there is young Elvis. She did mention, however, that she thought she saw a few little snippets of the genuine Elvis on tour footage.
I mean, I love the way they have decided to end the movie that way, but my only concern is that, I don't know, it's just because he was very degenerated right at that stage, and it's like, and not that, as us fans, we love him, however he looked, however, whatever, we just love him to pieces. But I feel like if they just showed that, that young, suspicious minds, that's the way it is, Elvis, like full of energy, jumping along the stage, just wild. And I don't know, I just feel like it's so sad going out that way. But I mean, it does touch the emotions more.
Yeah, but I mean, Baz isn't the sort to shy away from. Oh, by the way, Bossa Nova Baby says, Salam, I love your voice, she says.
Thank you. This little Elvis family is so sweet. I have found my Elvis family on this channel here.
Yes, and you're very, very welcome. Yeah, so I mean, Baz wouldn't shy away from showing the full story, the beginning, the middle, and the ending. As hard as it is to take, he had to include that.
Oh, it's just because it's, being introduced to so many new people, as we're saying, like people who are not even fans, they're going to go watch this. And it's like, I just want them to walk out seeing Elvis the God, as they say in the trailer, not Elvis, the worn down, abused, which I like. He was abused, Elvis, so, but I mean, I know it'll be fine, but that's just a personal preference. I can't wait.
Cathy did say, I mean, she did say that there is something else after Unchained Melody, but she was crying and weeping too much to really see too clearly what it was. So there is a little bit extra after Unchained Melody, but we're not too sure what it is. So watch right to the end, folks. I'm sure you will, but watch right to the end. And I think Baz even said there's something right at the very, very end of the credits, which is a surprise to watch out for. So,
yeah, because a lot of Elvis's appeal was the physical appeal, because, a lot of people say, oh, he stole this music or he stole that music. And he had these, he did have probably more opportunities than others because he was white, but he was also incredibly handsome. There were a lot of copycats out there
Yeah.
copying, certain types of music and stuff, but they never hit it big. They never hit it big. And I just don't think they had the look for it. They didn't have the charisma. They didn't have the shyness. And that, what Priscilla said in the other call, Austin has that 100%. He smiles
does.
like a shy.
Yeah.
In the Jimmy Fallon interview, his hands were shaking when he was doing the impressions.
Yeah.
It was very sweet, very Elvis-like, very cute. And I think that was the essence of the young country boy that hit it big, and it's very cute to see. So I think that's why they chose Austin as well.
I think he's going to be the best Elvis we've seen. Now, whether it's seen so far or whether this is the final hurrah for an Elvis movie, who knows? It probably will be. I think you're not going to get well, you might, but you're not going to get a movie studio to invest this amount of money probably in another Elvis picture. You'll get them to invest in the Elvis on tour footage, and that's the way it is, footage and things like that. But probably a brand new movie again like this is probably the last time, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think so too. But this one is going to last. This one's going to last because of the budget, the dedication, the acting. It's a shame that, she mentioned some people were not in it, like the girlfriends. I mean, Linda was with him for a long time. She wasn't only with him for a couple months. Yeah. It was a big chunk of his life. I mean, at least a mention, I don't know. I mean, but it's hard. I get it for 2 hours and.
Yeah, and I mean, we know that the director's cut will include more. What it will include, we're not too sure. But then again, as somebody rightly said during the week, this movie is not about his love life and his girlfriends. It's about his relationship with Colonel Tom Parker. Yeah,
and I even heard Priscilla's bit is not much.
Yeah,
she's the wife, but there's not much. It's not a highlight of the movie. It's like in the background.
Exactly, it's not the focus. I mean, Kathy said that there was very, very little emphasis put on the movie years either. So there you go. It just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, he was making movies from 1960 to 1969, and yet they didn't sort of cover it a lot. So again, the focus is Colonel Tom Parker and Elvis.
What I love about the movie years of Elvis, this was pre-music video days. They didn't make music videos in those days. They didn't make, but it's like when you go on YouTube and you type in Elvis Presley teddy bear, that's like a music video that we have now, that 3-minute clip from the movie. So many gems from those movies. Yes, some were silly, some were, but we have so many and then like even Loving You and those early movies, Love Me Tender, when he does the hip swivels, they're not filming him from the waist up. You get to see the whole thing. They're just like literally music videos from the 1950s that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
That's exactly what they're like. Yeah, well said. All right, Salam. Well, I'm going to tell you, enjoy the movie because I just know you will.
Thank you so much. I can't wait.
Okay.
2 more days to
Okay, I'll talk to you on the other side.
Yes.
Okay.
Have a good day, Steve.
Thank you. Bye. That's the lovely Salam. Yes, always a lovely call and always a pleasure. Mark, wow, they're queuing up for me. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?
Alrighty. What do you think then? Did I do the right thing? Did you mute or did you listen?
No, I listened. The only thing I'd say, if you were showing pictures or something like that, different scenes in the movie, I probably would have shied away from it because I don't want to see that, if I can. Yeah. But no, that's fine. It's good to get a little bit of an input. You can't please everybody.
Yeah, because we know the story anyway. We just all Kathy told us now was really what's included and what's not included.
Yeah. There seems to be a fair bit not included, which I'm not surprised, and I'm a little bit surprised as well. But I'd like to say about the movies, I just thought, maybe he may have shown Austin doing Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah.
Because what a terrific scene in a movie. It's the first kind of video art of dancing. And Elvis choreographed that himself. I'm thinking that would be fantastic in the film, and it's been swayed over, which I am surprised. Considering the time he spent in the movies. So. Yeah,
it's strange. It's strange, and they gave so little to the movie period, as is as well. And Aloha as well is very strange. I think that's probably going to be in the director's cut, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, we might get a little bit more of the movie stuff in the director's cut. We don't know, do we? But I think an iconic scene like that. Obviously, seeing Elvis earlier on in the Milton Berle shows and all that, Grace, Hound Dog, but just to take one iconic step of the movies. I'd have thought, everybody knows Jailhouse Rock, and you would have thought that scene would have fitted Austin great, I think, with the dance moves.
Yeah, good point. When are you going to see the movie?
Friday, mate. I'm off Friday, 7 o'clock showing. I'll be there.
Right at the start of the queue.
Right at the start of the queue, mate. Yes.
Great. Are you just going? You just going with yourself, or?
I'm going with the wife and 2 friends.
All right. Yeah. Is the wife is the wife an Elvis fan?
She's not an Elvis fan like me, but she appreciates the music, and she's into all sorts. But she's not a diehard Elvis fan. But she goes and watches stuff with me and everything. So yeah.
And what about the friends? Yeah. Are they converts, or are they just curious, or what?
One of my best friends, she's a massive Elvis fan.
All right.
Her husband's a little bit like my wife. Appreciates the music, but not an Elvis diehard fan. But he would go and see it. I've been to Memphis with them and everything. So it's like
Well, one of the things I'm going to be interested in post-movie, after it's been out a few weeks, is to see how many people, casual Elvis fans or even non-Elvis fans, this converts into big Elvis fans. That's what I'm going to be interested in seeing.
Yeah, well, same with me, and I'll be watching and seeing who's in the cinema on Friday and clocking the age groups, and I'd imagine it will be full first night showing. I'd imagine it will be full.
Yeah.
So. The atmosphere should be great. It'd be interesting to keep it. We're all going to get. I've heard this week. I don't know if you heard some of the negativity towards Austin. And one guy said, "I've watched the film already. He must have seen it." Yeah. He said, "Fantastic film," but I couldn't take my eyes off Austin because he doesn't look like Elvis, but it reminded me of John Travolta.
Oh, yeah, John Travolta.
Yeah.
I don't see it myself.
Oh well, no. But I'm thinking, you keep them kind of opinions to yourself. At the end of the day, no one will ever be Elvis or look like Elvis 100% anyway. So it's like,
exactly.
Exactly. It's about the acting and about the portrait of the movie.
Yeah. And if he gets the essence of Elvis. Let me ask you, what did you vote for your favourite 60s dramatic movie? Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, or Charo?
Oh, I've got to go for Flaming Star.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, for me. Yeah, for me. But I was just saying about the movie as well.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if they'll show a little bit more of Austin on stage. When he gets to the Vegas. Yeah. Him doing like the 72 stuff in the movie. I know we got the hours, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Let's hope we see a little bit more of that. She never said that, did she?
No. They sort of go from 69. They do a little bit of 70, but they don't include like Elvis on tour. Well, they do. They show a little bit of Elvis on tour, which she said she thought was the genuine footage. They don't. They don't show Madison Square Garden at all, and then they do Aloha, but only a little bit of Aloha. So,
there's like I say, there's a lot of little bits there that we are going to be missing, and I suppose it is iconic in his life story, isn't it? Like the 4 sold-out shows in New York and
they couldn't fit it all in a 2.5 or 3 hour movie anyway. So that's why I always say they should have done it in 2 big long movies. That's what they should have done.
I thought so. Yeah, so do you think with the likes of not mentioning Linda or Ginger? Has that got anything to do with Priscilla, you think?
I don't know. I don't know how much Priscilla sway over Baz, how much sway she had. But as I said earlier, I think the emphasis isn't on girlfriends and wives. It's more on the relationship between Colonel Parker and Elvis.
Yeah, I suppose it's just a part of the Elvis story. I suppose like the likes of you and me, we all know the Elvis story, like kind of inside out, and who he was with on a certain year, But I just, I didn't think they would, but if it was asleep, like it's like that the lady said about like the Anne Margaret as well, isn't it?
Yeah, no Anne Margaret at all. Yeah.
No, really surprising, but I'm sure it'll be a smash.
Yeah.
Are you going to see it Friday?
Yeah. Can't wait.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Great.
All right. Okay.
Enjoy, Steve.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Bye. That was Mark, and I don't know if we're going to get any more calls. If we are going to get more calls, then I can pause Elvis history because Okay. Hi, is that Brian?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Brian, what do you think?
Oh, I think the movie's going to be great.
Okay, all right. Do you
I
know
think
any?
it's
Do you know
actually
any?
the first.
Do you know anybody that's seen it yet?
No, I
Right,
don't.
right. Okay.
Yeah. I think.
Okay. I think we actually lost Brian there, unfortunately. Don't know what happened there. I might just give it a second. Don't forget, you can vote. You can still vote on the poll. What's your favorite '60s dramatic Elvis movie? Here's Brian. I think we lost you there, Brian.
Yeah, someone called me on my phone. And I figured, what a stupid.
Okay. So you were going to say. Yeah, okay. I think Brian is actually having technical difficulties there. Okay, let's do Elvis we'll try Brian one more time. Hi, Brian.
This doesn't work a third time around. I'm going to give this person shit.
Okay, no problem.
I think Austin Butler really touched on Elvis.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes. I think, first of all, it wasn't so much that he didn't impersonate Elvis. All the other actors that have done him impersonated him, or they tried to. But what Austin did was an interpretation of him.
Yes, exactly.
And he studied him. Because he's got the moves down pat.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, this is it, you see, because people are saying, oh, he doesn't look like Elvis or he doesn't sound like Elvis. They're missing the point. He's got the essence of Elvis.
Actually, I think he sounds like Elvis when he's doing Baby Let's Play House on the Louisiana Hayride.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's got the moves. He's really got the moves. So.
And you're going to you're going to go and see the movie on the 24th?
No, not on the 24th. I'm going to go see it at the end of the month, and I'm going to go see it on the when I get my GST check out here in Canada. We get these quarterly checks.
Yeah.
every few months, and then I'm going to go see it on my birthday.
Oh yeah, what a birthday present! What a birthday
July
present!
11th.
Brilliant. July 11th. Okay. Well, now let's see. What's your favorite '60s dramatic Elvis movie? Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, or Charo? What did you vote for?
'60s romantic Elvis movie?
No, dramatic.
You know what? The one that I picked was not. I got a favorite one, but it's not on the list. I think it was a good movie, and some people weren't convinced that he played a doctor, but it was a Change of Habit.
Oh, right.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
I mean, for first of all, Dr. Elvis made a welcome change from Playboy Elvis.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I think he was good, you know?
I never thought to put that one on, actually. I just put Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, and Charo. But yeah, now you think about it, yeah, Change of Habit.
And people say that he didn't, he didn't convince them that he was a doctor, but to me, it would be more like a walk-in clinic doctor today.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he did a good job on that. And I actually liked, Mary Tyler Moore opposite him. Yes. And I also liked the fact that Ed Asner was in there.
Yes.
And
also how stunning Elvis looked in Change of Habit. I mean, he always looked stunning anyway, but he looked absolutely superb with that haircut in Change of Habit.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's when he started getting back into this.
Yeah.
The six. I think that was after the '68 comeback special.
Exactly,
wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, you're quite correct.
Yeah. So he was blossoming into a lot mature, younger man.
Yeah, it was a definite changing time in Elvis's life, that's for sure. Not just change of habit, but change of direction in his career, that's for sure.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Brian, enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I will. You too.
Okay. Cheers.
Right.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Okay. We're having plenty of calls tonight. I'm very, very happy to say. And don't forget to vote on what's your favorite '60s dramatic Elvis movie. We've got Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, and Charo. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Steve. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the movie?
Oh, absolutely. That interview was epic. It was everything I expected.
Okay.
So, if you remember my call last week, I pretty much predicted everything she said. So,
very good. Yes.
I'm surprised they didn't put more emphasis on the movies.
Yeah.
And that especially since Parker pushed him to sign all the contracts for the movies years in advance, even though he hated it with a passion. He was sick of playing pretty much the same role every movie over, but because he was signed, 1-2 years in advance, he had no choice but to go ahead with it. But another thing that really shocked me, a friend of mine went to the premiere at Graceland.
Oh yeah,
and actually got to meet Priscilla and Lisa afterwards.
Oh wow.
And you remember last week I was saying how I don't have the most favorable view of Priscilla. That's actually changed after hearing what my friend had to say about her, and he's not even an Elvis fan. So she didn't really leave him by choice. It was choice, but it was more of a he was never around, so it was a leave or be left sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
What other things surprised you? Did anything surprise you that Kathy said about the movie?
No, it was pretty much everything I expected.
I mean, we know we know the story anyway. It was just a case of what they've included and what they haven't included.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised, especially since Baz has access to all the on-tour footage.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't spend more time focusing on that.
Yeah.
Because we know the on-tour years. Parker was pushing Elvis to constantly be on the road touring. It was the only way he was going to make money and pay bills.
Yeah.
Yes, he spent a lot of time in Vegas, but it was the tours that raked in all the big money. Because the records, like they are today, that they only bring in so much. The record label takes a chunk, and the writers take a chunk, and
Yeah.
So it's the tours that bring in the money.
Exactly.
So the fact that they didn't focus so much on the tour years was a surprise. But the fact that they, in the older years, I guess that's probably why they left out so much of the on-tour years and the later years. It would be hard to transform Austin into that. Because he does have that younger baby face.
Yes.
And the Gold Coast is pretty hot and humid.
Yeah.
So trying to use prosthetics and all that kind of thing would just be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I think obviously the director's cut will show more of what us fans want to see, whereas the actual theatrical release will be the fans and also newer fans want to see.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Baz is a diehard Elvis fan, and his daughter is a convert.
Mm-hmm.
She's now she's a designer, and she's now doing a lot of Elvis influenced designs and that. So
yeah. Great.
Yeah, I dare say the director's cut's going to show a lot. But it'll be interesting to see what he does with On Tour.
Yes.
From what I gather, what he hinted at the town hall at Graceland, he's going to focus more on tour than That's the Way It Is, since That's the Way It Is has already been remade.
Yeah, exactly. And there's probably a lot more Elvis on tour that we haven't seen than there is Elvis That's the Way It Is.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, all of the footage from That's the Way It Is has already been leaked out.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
When are you going?
I'm booked in for Thursday, which is Wednesday for you guys.
Oh, right. You're seeing it a couple of days earlier than us.
Yeah.
Great. And
we get it on the 24th here.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you as well, what's your favourite 60s dramatic Elvis movie out of these? Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, or Charo?
I have to agree with the last caller. Change Your Habit.
Oh, right.
Change Your Habit is one of my favourite all times.
I should have put that on the poll.
Yeah, Change Your Habit is one that's always on my playlist.
Right.
When I'm having a marathon.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, Matt, enjoy. And I'll talk to you on the other side.
I'll catch you next time.
Cheers. Okay, right. So let's do Elvis history. This day in Elvis history. Don't forget, you can still vote. What's your favorite 60s dramatic Elvis movie? Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, or Charo. I've got photographs as well for Elvis history. Elvis performed at the Magnolia Gardens matinee and then at Cook's Hoedown Club evening 1956. No, that was 1955. Now 1956. Colonel Parker made a deal for Elvis Presley fan magazine, and the photographer followed Elvis on his date with Barbara Hearn. That's what you should have been seeing at Libertyland on Black Community Day. Memphis police provide crowd control on the Midway as Elvis throws a ball to win Hearn a prize. Look at Barbara there, lucky Barbara. Elvis attended on Black Community Day with these photos in a nationally published fan magazine were socially revolutionary. In the 1960s and 70s, he'd rent the park when he had carnival urges. After the fairground, Elvis, Barbara and photographer Robert Williams went to the Gridiron restaurant. The photos were published in the Elvis Presley Speaks. Now, this is a bit of a strange one because he put his head on Miss Moore's shoulder and she actually sued him for $5,500 for a photo in his fan magazine. So it's very kind of odd, isn't it, really? Very, very odd. And after the cafe, it was off to the movies. There you go. There's Barbara and Elvis at the movies. In 1959, Elvis was in Paris with Lamar, Rex and Charlie Hodge. 1960, GI Blues. 1962, instead of staying with the Barrises as promised, Priscilla's parents, Priscilla moved into Bellagio Road house one day before Elvis decided to show her Las Vegas. With the entourage, they travelled in the motorhome and stayed at the Sahara for 12 days. 1965, Frankie and Johnny. Elvis reported to MGM for pre-production in Speedway, beginning at 10 a.m., music meeting, and 2 p.m. wardrobe fitting. According to Peter Guralnick and Ernst George Jessen, in Elvis Day by Day, on that first day, Elvis presented his co-star with a car that had Speedway painted on one door and starring Nancy and Elvis on the other. 1972, we have Elvis performed at the Henry Levitt Arena, Wichita, Kansas. A great two-piece outfit. There's some of those photographs. 1974, Elvis performed at the Civic Center Auditorium, Amarillo, Texas. Yes, my favorite jumpsuit, the Peacock. And finally, as we probably know, 1977, Elvis performed at the Civic Auditorium Arena, Omaha, Nebraska, where the show was filmed for the CBS TV special called Elvis in Concert. And then 2 days later, they filmed in Rapid City as well. Photoshop of the week. Yes. Now, here we go. This is one that always drives me a little bit crazy when I see it. Now, there is purportedly Elvis on the Stars Walk of Fame, or whatever you want to call it, and looking down at his star. No, he's not, because basically what it is he was in the RCA studio on July the 2nd, 1956, listening to a playback of Hound Dog, and then basically somebody has colorized it and put it. So there you go. Fake on the left and genuine on the right. So if you ever see that one with him looking down at his star again, it's not. It's actually Elvis in the RCA studio on July the 2nd, 1956, listening to a playback of Hound Dog. And he also recorded Don't Be Cruel and Any Way You Want Me as well. Now, a song I wish Elvis had recorded is a popular song written and performed by English singer-songwriter Cat Stevens on his 1970 album Tea for the Tillerman. The song features a heartbreaking exchange between father not understanding a son's desire to break away and shape a new life, and the son who cannot really explain himself but knows that it is time for him to seek his own destiny. Stevens sings in a deeper register or lower key for the father's lines while using a higher key, higher register for those of the son. Additionally, there are backing vocals provided by Stevens' guitarist and friend Alan Davis, beginning mid-song, singing an unusual chorus of simple refrains. It's the song Father and Son. The song received substantial airplay on progressive rock and album-orientated rock radio formats and played a key role in establishing Stevens as a new voice worthy of attention. In 1970, it was only put on the B-side of Stevens' single Moon Shadow, as you can see there. So somebody would say, well, Elvis wouldn't sing a song like this, but then again, you could say, well, shades of My Boy, you never know. And some of the lyrics are, it's not time to make a change, just relax, take it easy, you're still young, that's your fault, there's so much for you to know. And it also goes on, I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy, but take your time, think a lot. Well, we know Elvis was a big thinker. For tomorrow will still be here, but your dreams may not. I like that line. I'll drop a link for anybody that is not familiar with Father and Son, but I'm sure a lot of you are, in the description box below. And I'd like to hear and see your feelings about what we've discussed tonight and the spoilers and all that if you want to. And also let me know about when you're going to see the movie and so forth. If there's any song you've always wished Elvis had recorded, you can send me the details by email or Facebook Messenger. The email address is elvistheultimatefan@gmail.com. The same with the Photoshop pictures as well. If there's a Photoshop picture that drives you mad and you want to send me the original in the Photoshop, I'd love to see that as well. Now, just a little bit of an announcement. I'm not here for the next 2 weeks, so the next live show is Sunday, July the 12th. Okay, if you just want to make a note of that in your diary, I'm going away for vacation for 2 weeks. So, thanks to all the callers today. And as I say, I'm sure listening to Kathy, if you heard anything that Kathy said by mistake, it won't spoil your enjoyment of the movie. Enjoy the movie, and we'll have loads of discussions about the movie after we've all seen it. Don't forget, if you want to support the show, you can buy me a coffee by using the link below. And until July the 10th, take care, and boy oh boy are you going to enjoy this movie.